If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, Christine McIver.
Hello, my friends. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining tonight live. I am your host, Christine McIver. And tonight I am pumped up. Are you ready to get pumped up? Yep, that's the way I said it. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a fun show. So tonight we are talking about how to have clients choose you over the competition. Competition is bull, bull, bull. And that's what we are going to be talking about tonight. And I have so many ideas, like they've been flowing out of me that I'm so excited to share with each and every one of you. So if you're in business, if you're thinking about getting into business, or if you know somebody that's in business, tonight's show is going to rock your world. Now, here's a secret. And I say this oftentimes on my show. If you're not in your own business, but you're out in the world working, what you do is your business. And a lot of what I share is actually something that you can apply to you and your life and your career. So this is not just for entrepreneurs. This is not just for organizations. This also is for you if you are in your own career. And I'm really excited to share everything with you. So before we dive deep, I want to tell you a little bit about who I am and what's going on in my world. I am Christine McIver. I am the host of this show, Inspired Choices, here on Inspired Choices Network. I'm also the owner and the founder of InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We are a broadcasting platform and we do a lot of really cool things. And if you want to check it out, if you're thinking about podcasting, if you're thinking about bringing your voice to the world, telling the world what you know, being an expert in your field, you're going to want to contact us because we are everywhere. And if you're someone who is thinking about growing their business, or you're actually looking to start your business, I actually have a really cool package that I am sharing with you. It's called Strategic Business Package. We look at everything under your umbrella of what you've set up, and we make sure that it's going to flow so that you can have pleasure in your business. Now you can check that out at Inspired Choices Network. At my personal website, inspiredchoices.ca. You can, of course, can find me on all social media platforms and here through the network on more than 250 platforms. Just go wherever your favorite places are. Just go and find me and you can connect with me, or you can just make it easy and send me an email, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. What really turns me on and lights me up is to work with individuals that are looking to step into more possibilities. I know it's possible, but sometimes the noise in our head stops us. I absolutely love working with individuals to make those things possible. So what are you waiting for? Come on, get going. Email me. All right, let's jump into tonight's show. I've got special spirit tonight. I don't know what this is all about, but it's been a fabulous day and I'm so thrilled that I'm here with each and every one of you tonight. So as I said, tonight's show is how to have clients choose you over the competition. Do you have a challenge getting clients to choose you? Do you? Now, you don't have to admit it to me. You don't have to type it in the chat room. By the way, you can join us in the chat room and ask questions. But at least admit it to yourself that you have a challenge getting clients. Is there competition in your industry that is actually thriving when you're barely paying the bills? It's important to look at that only for the reason that you look at where you're coming from and how it's impacting you. It's all about perspective in your world. To have clients choose you is much easier than you realize. And I know that I went through that myself. And I know many, many people who have as well that I've worked with over the years. So tonight I'm going to share the top most important items you as a business owner must do to have clients not only find you, but choose you again and again. As I said, if you have any questions, be sure to come join us in the chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can join us in the live recording studio, and you can be asking questions and really change your world. It's really a choice. You know, that title, choice, inspired choices, it really, for me, what it really said to me was, I want to make choices that are so in alignment with what lights me up that it can't help but move me in the right direction, to have more joy, to have more fun, to have more possibilities and pleasure and prosperity and fabulous relationships in my life. And that's what being inspired is all about. It's about following that spirit within you. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Okay, so let's talk about this. The very first question I have for you is, when you look at yourself in your business, are you actually being yourself? Are you being yourself? So let me explain this a little bit more thoroughly. Most people, and a few clients have coming to mind, most people, when they get a business idea and they are going to start to create their business, they're really excited. If you have your own business, go back to that moment when you first started and how excited you were. And you got all of these ideas and they started popping and you got really excited, and maybe you shared this with a few people or one special person. And then when you started to move forward to start to put your business together, most people come out of being in their internal place with the excitement, and they start to go external and they start to look at what everyone else is doing. Some of the primary questions that I have had from clients is, well, what's going on with the competition? Or they may tell me, well, this is what people that do what I do, this is what they're charging, this is how they do it, this is how, the packages that they're doing, this is, and they're looking externally. That is your first mistake. And it's a huge mistake. Now, eventually, of course, you're going to know what people who do things similarly to you, and I really want you to get that word, similarly. Eventually, you're going to know what they are doing in business. But that's not where you want to begin, because what starts to happen is you stop being yourself and you start to try to see where you're going to fit in within the industry in order to be attractive, right? I want you to really listen to that. You're going to try to figure out how to fit in. And my friend, you didn't come here to fit in. You came here to stand out. This is so important for you to get this. When you are trying to fit in, I want you to imagine that you're trying to fit in to a small space, right? What do you end up doing when you try to fit into a small space? Maybe you're moving to an apartment. Well, what do you start to do? You start to give away things that are yours, that are important to you. You start to slim down on your belongings. Well, how much are you actually doing that when you're showing up in business? You're giving away pieces and parts of who you are in order to fit in like everybody else. No, the number one thing that you have to be, and I'm going to say this throughout the entire show tonight, is you have to be yourself. You must be yourself. So here's what most people are doing. We are trying to fit in. We're trying to be like everyone else. Well, tell me something. And you've all had this experience. I know you have. When you've gone out to, let's say you've gone out to a store, or you've gone out to a restaurant, you've gone somewhere to purchase or have a service provided. And the person walks up to you, and right away you get the sense of, oh my gosh, this person is so phony. One of the experiences that I've had more than once is I've gone into a clothing store and someone's walked up and said, hello, how are you? Can I help you with anything? And it was like, this person does not want to help me with anything. I can tell they are doing what they should be doing, right? That's not who they are. It's like if I came up to do this show And I was not being me. And I was speaking in a very robotic, business professional, that the way that people say you should be behaving. If I showed up like that, the people that resonate with what I say, the people that are a match to me, would never, ever want to hear me ever again. They would leave because they can pick up that I would be phony, right? You have a bullshit meter. We all have a bullshit meter, and we can tell when someone is not being themselves. Now, I want you to think about when you are out there and you are advertising, or you're doing a video, or you're even on a telephone call, or you're on a webinar, or you're a guest on a show somewhere, and you're showing up trying to be the way that you're supposed to be professionally, right? What is going to happen, all right, energetically, what is going to happen is, here you are, right? And this doesn't mean anything, the spot that I'm choosing, but here you are going along, and this is your energy level. This is where you're vibrating, right? So you are down here. And what is actually occurring is you are actually contracting who you are, or maybe you are someone who is quite reserved. You're a little bit more modest. You're not like me. You're like yourself. And someone in the chat room says, my bullshit meter is going off. Yeah, exactly. So you're a little bit more modest, but you are trying to be more outgoing, more robust, maybe more overt, right? You're still here because you are either contracting who you are, or you're trying to be something that you are not. Your energy is not true. It's not clear. And so the people that are up here that are searching for you, the customers and clients that are up here searching for you, looking for you energetically, they cannot find you because you're trying to be something that you are not. You're trying to be something that you are not. If you have ever, think of it like a lie. All right, because that's what it is. It's a lie that you're not being who you truly are. If you are being and acting from a space of who you are not, the bullshit meter for people will go off, or alternatively, they won't be able to find you at all. You know when someone's lying. You know when it does not resonate for you, right? There are people that can very quickly, and we are collectively, our awarenesses are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So when you are not truly being who you are and saying what really lights you up, what really makes you joyful, the people that are looking for you, that are seriously, they're out there looking for what you have to offer, they are going to choose someone else that is closer in alignment to what they're looking for, because they are in need of a product or a service. Okay, so I want you to really get this. It's not that they're not choosing you, it's that they can't find you. So if you are not being the true energy that you are, you're unavailable to them. It's not that your clients are choosing the competition. It's that the competition is all they can find. You are not resonating at all with the truth of who you are. And it's like you start to repel people because that is not who you are truly being. Someone in the chat room says, I've been comparing myself to others who are coaches, and I am a unique combination of both energy healer and coach. I am not a coach. Great awareness. Great awareness. Have you been trying to fit yourself under a title? This is something that I personally struggled with for years. And I was continuously looking at what is it that I do that I could give myself, like what title fits what I do? And it just never super resonated as I would look at things, Am I a coach? Yes, I'm a professionally trained coach. Do I coach people? Yes. That's a pretty broad term nowadays. What else do I do? And I kept looking at all of these areas of what I did, and I had to keep tweaking and keep tweaking. And as I continued to tweak the description of what I did, I continued to grow myself and my capacities. And what was really cool, what happened over the last few years is they started to come closer into alignment with each other until they matched. And what feels so true for me is the title that I have today that really speaks to what I do on a specific level, but also on a macro level, is I am a strategic business coach. I'm a strategic coach as well as a strategic business coach. I do strategize. I do look at all of the areas to bring together a plan for an organization, an individual, even maybe a family. That is how my brain operates, and that's where my capacities lie. So the very first thing, we're going to go off to our first break. Wow, this show goes so fast, especially when I'm lit up. The very first thing that I want you to do is I'd like you to write this down. This is a task, a discovery task that I'd love you to go on with yourself over the next few days. Is I would like you to start listing the things that you love to do in your business or in your career. Write those things down. Really write down what lights you up, what really truly lights you up. Because when you know what lights you up, you are going to begin to move in that direction more and more and more. Okay. And that's an important piece to understand. It's not that you have to be there now, but you start to line things up energetically. And as opportunities come your way, you're going to know what to say yes to. You're not going to be reacting, right? Really reacting from that space of, oh my gosh, the competition's going to get this business and not me. Okay. Stick around, my friends. I have so much more to share with you. The next couple of segments, are going to be jam-packed. So be sure to join me after the break. You're listening to Inspired Choices. I am your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network. I'll see you shortly.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with Coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Oh my gosh, who has more fun than me? Oh Oh, thanks for being here tonight, my friends. I am so happy that you are here. And I'm so happy that if you're listening in the replay, that you press that play button, because it really lights me up. And, every single person that connects with my show, both live and in the replay, adds their energy to it. And it's an exciting thing to me. And this is one of the things, before we went to break, I actually said, write down the things that you love to do, the things that light you up. And this is one of those things that lights me up, is doing my show. I've been doing this now for 10 years and I just love it more and more all the time. And I think that the reason I love it more and more all the time is because each and every time I feel like I'm being more me. Does that make sense? I'm really keep showing up and being more and more of who I am, and bringing out the love and the joy and the pleasure and what I know to be true, and just showing up, being me. And, I know a lot of people are saying, be me, be you, be who you are, blah, 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 blah. But you got to figure out who the hell you are, right? You've got to figure out who the hell you are. And it's a discovery. It's a process. Be gentle on yourself. When I first started in business, oh my gosh, I was so hard on myself, and my expectations were so, so high. And I was so much trying to look at what the competition was doing to try to figure out how I should be doing it so I could make the money, so I would be happy, and so I would have a business like they had. Oh my Lord, it's exhausting. And you're never, ever, ever going to be like other people, because you're not them. You're just not them. So you can either continue to be miserable, or you can show up and be you. Have fun being who you are, and be truer and truer and truer to yourself. Think of it like, if you're in a relationship and, you're in a monogamous relationship and you actually cheat on the other person. Well, you're cheating on yourself when you're not showing up of who you truly are. And that is such a shame to do that, because you are brilliant. Remember what I've said many, many times. If an idea has come to you, it's supposed to come through you. If a business has come to you, it's supposed to come through you, and it wants to come through you, because the uniqueness that you really, really are. All right. So we were talking about being yourself. A big part of the competition is bullshit, because, people are not looking for the competition. They're looking for you when you are truly, truly being you. Now, the second thing that I really want you to know, what's very, very important, is your identity, knowing truly who you are. And I touched on that just before we went for break, right? It's really looking at what you're good at, looking at what you're enjoying, and then really identifying with it. Is that who I am? Is that what I do? Is that what I want to be doing, right? Do not start with, will that make me money? If that's what you're doing, go get a job where you just show up as a machine and you just do whatever, right? Being in your own business is not for the faint of heart. And it's also not for those people that are not willing to dive deep into looking at themselves and having a very honest conversation with themselves each and every day. You've got to challenge yourself to show up as who you are. You've got to there's so much noise in the world, and there's so much that we have in our past that we've been unpacking our whole lives. This is something that needs to continue. But if you will lean in and see the value and the rewards that you will have on the other side of doing this deep diving, you're gonna just be amazed when you come beyond that worry, when you come beyond looking at the competition for the right pricing or the right this or the right that. Not that you don't look at those eventually, but not in the beginning. When you can move beyond that and get onto the other side of that it's going to feel like, if it took you 10 years to go through that, it's going to feel like it was just a short little while, because there's going to be so much joy and enjoyment and pleasure on the other side of it. You will look forward to your days working. You will look forward to seeing what else is truly possible and meeting new clients, knowing they are looking for you. So your identity, getting clear, very comfortable, very excited about your identity, and to be able to communicate that with ease to other people. So you've got to try it on first for you, right? Like the person in the chat room said, they're not a coach, they're an energy healer and a coach. Now, as she continues to hone in on that truth of that, whenever she speaks, wherever she meets someone, wherever she's putting that content out, she's going to own that identity. And as you own your identity, right, here you are owning your identity, and you are moving beyond competition, those two are going to come together, and it's going to be an explosion of energy that will not be able to be missed by those who are looking for you. You know, I want to touch on this one thing for just a minute. Competition is not real in anything. It's like having, I am the 10th of 11 children. I don't know if you've known that, but there are different people of different heights and different personalities and different capacities and different professions, and everyone in my family is very different. We were raised by the same two people. Primarily, we were raised in, the last, 20 years of, my entire life, 20 years was raised in the same house. So most of my family members were in that home at one time, my siblings. So I'm the younger of the siblings, but we were raised in the same environment, right? With the same variables. Yes, of course, there were different things that went on, but primarily we were dipped in the same juice, right? We all came out very different. Your fingerprint is unique. The way you think today than the way that you thought a year ago is different. Who you are and how you show up in the world is different. There is not one other person, even if you had an identical twin, that person is not going to be the same as you. That's very important to understand that. The next thing, besides, in addition to being yourself, knowing your identity, being very clear about what you do not try to fit into all of the boxes. Be very clear about what you do. Now, you may do different things. There's a big push out there, and I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times about you need to niche what you do. You need to niche what you do. I'm going to tell you, when I first took my coaching training, which was in 2008, when I first took that, I went to like an after class that they did about setting up your business and so on. And they talked about, you need to find a niche. You need to find a niche and you need to stay in that lane. And I went, bullshit. I mean, I didn't say that out loud, but I just went, this is bullshit. And I got up and I walked out. It was like, that is insane. To me, that was insane. That felt to me in that moment like I was pigeoning myself. And you know why that is? Because I had yet to discover all of the things that I was good at, all of the things that lit me up, and the areas that I still needed to develop in. So, my friends, check on that for you. Does that feel true to you? Does it feel like you're still in the developmental stages? There are some things that you absolutely do that you love, and it feels like there's still some other things you're not sure if you love it, if you're going to keep it in your business or not, or if you're actually going to add it to your business. It's okay to still be in the developmental stages as you grow within your business. This is not a bad thing. So I want you to really check on that. Be very clear about where you are absolutely and where you are not quite finished developing yet. Now, this is not to say that you can't change the direction of your business in years to come. And, if you didn't change direction somewhat, you're not growing. You're dead. Like, you're done. You're always going to be evolving on some level. How consciously you're doing that and how unconsciously you're doing that, that's actually in your control. But it's important to know that change is going to happen. Change is continuously happening. How you're showing up and how you're showing up to yourself and how you're holding yourself accountable to truly being you and following what is lighting you up, that's on you. And the other part of this is you get to choose. It's on you, yes, and you're the one who chooses. You are. I hope you're really getting here. What I'm trying to convey is that this is about being in the space of pleasure, of what gives you joy. And as you are in the energy of joy, you are no truer in your true energy than when you are in the energy of joy. So when you continue to tweak yourself and evolve and keep following those nudges that light you up, you are going to be moving into joy continuously or staying in joy. And that's where you absolutely cannot miss being attractive and attracting clientele. Absolutely. And they are going to, you want to keep creating an environment of pleasure when they're working with you. You keep showing up as you. You're attractive when you're happy. You are attractive when you are in joy. You're attractive when you're turned on about your capacities. We got so much more. Stick around, my friends. We're up for our break. This is Inspired Choices on the Inspired Choices Network. I'm Christine McIver, your host, and I'm excited for you to come back. See you after the break.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices radio show with Coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices radio show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Hey, my friends. How are you? How are you? So what are you thinking so far? Are you kind of starting to get the vibe of what I'm talking about and how you can actually have clients choose for you? I would love to have you come and join us in the chat room. And I would love to hear about what you are thinking about what I've shared so far. You can always ask questions. You can always make comments. And if you're joining after the show has been live, if you're listening to the replay, you can always send me an email with any questions or comments that you might have. Now, I want to remind you that you can check us out. We have our own Inspired Choices Network app. You can download it, whether you have an iPhone or you have an Android. You can download the Inspired Choices Network app. You can listen live right from the first page, or you can go in and check out all the different shows, and you just click on them, the image of the host, and it'll take you to all the shows they've ever created. You can also find us on TV. We are on over 100 smart TVs. If you have a Samsung TV, an LG smart TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, just look for Inspired Choices Network and you'll find our TV shows there. You can also find us on other TV shows under the Binge, BINGE platform on your smart TV. So go check us out. You can watch the TV shows, or you can join us on your favorite listening podcast platform, even on Alexa. But I don't want to say that too loud because she'll hear me. So do check that out. Okay, we've got a lot of action going on in the chat room. So I'm going to kind of look in there, and then we're going to jump back into what we were talking about. So we had one of the individuals in the chat room say that constantly she's in development stages. I'm always changing. That changes my business. And I wasn't quite sure what she was talking about. She said, I used to feel that when I changed, grew, took new courses, etc., that it messed with what I thought my business needed to look like. You know what the key word is in that sentence? And thank you so much for sharing this. The key word in there is needed. What she needed. She was looking outside of her business and outside of herself to try to fit in. She goes on to say, it was part of what you just dismissed, the need for that niche. I was so happy to hear you say what you did about that. And then my wonderful producer, Kim, says, I'm getting that honesty and authenticity is key, both with others and yourself. Kim, that's 100%, but I'm just, the one tweak is, first, it's with you. First and foremost, it's with you, because when it's with you, you don't even have to try to be authentic with other people. It's who you be, especially when you're really in connection with what lights you up in your business. And then the other individual in the chat room, which I'm not saying her name in case she doesn't want it shared, she said, with comparing to others, it would pull me away from being authentic and make it harder to find what I love to do and who I truly am. Bang on. That's exactly what happens. And you know, the other piece that happens is when we are comparing ourselves to others and we are not being truly who we are, it's exhausting. We actually show up in our business and it draws our energy out. A lot of people will often say to me, oh my gosh, Christine, you work so much. And guys, I wouldn't be doing what I do if it didn't light me up. Honest to goodness, I love what I do. I love how I create. Am I tired at the end of the days? Sometimes like now, it's nighttime for me. I am lit up because this is one of the things that I do that brings me so much pleasure. And that's what will happen in your life, is you will get lit up even more for you. And of course, that's going to radiate out to all your relationships, including those with your clients. So the next thing is, which is funny, is check your energy. When you are, whatever you're doing in your business, right? And when you are looking to have someone else join you as a client or a customer, check your energy, how you're showing up in the conversation, what it feels like when you're making the offer, what it feels like when you're emailing them, when you're posting about it. How does that feel? Right? Is your energy low? Are you trying to avoid it? Now, it doesn't mean that this is the only reason that your energy is low, but it's a really good indicator and something to add to the questions that you put yourself through. The next thing I want to ask you about is, are clients not choosing you because you're not actually showing up? Huh? What? Say that again, Christine. Are you showing up so that they can find you? Right? Gone are the days where we literally put a sign outside of our building and people walked by because this was the only way they found service providers or product creators and found us, right? That's That's not the way it's done. And don't give me the, oh, I don't like social media. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. Get over yourself. Then don't be in your own business. I am done with listening to people who are in their own business and they're not willing to show up online. If you're not showing up online and things are starting to open up for where you are in the world, then go out and interact with people where they would be, that they would be interested in to hear what you do and what you have that you provide for customers. You have to show up. Now, you don't show up like me. You don't have to show up like I show up, but you need to be showing up. You need to be interacting. You need to be interacting. You need to create connections. You need to be sharing what it is that you do and you provide so that you can bring your energy to the table so they can actually hear you and find you. Do you understand? This is crucial. And no more excuses. Stop with the excuses. If you're not willing to really show up and hold yourself accountable to being happy, then don't be surprised when customers are not knocking on your door. When you are having an interaction with a customer, when you're like, for instance, when people ask me about the possibility of being a host here on the Inspired Choices Network, I have a one-to-one conversation with them. I don't send them a document. I don't just do email back and forth. No, I connect with them. I connect with them and I listen. I listen to who they are. I listen to what it is that they're desiring, what it is that they want to have this do for them and do for their business. I want to learn about who they are. Are they authentic? Are they driven? Do they love what they do? Right? I have a responsibility to the listeners to provide hosts who are going to be an invitation, to be invitational in their message. It doesn't have to be the same subjects that our current hosts are doing. In fact, I want to have a variety of different hosts speaking about different subjects. You know, I've always seen it that way, that it's like a menu of, oh, this is very cool. I could listen about that from personal and that for my kids and that, you know, that's what I've always wanted. But I really want these people to be authentic. And so in order for me to invite that energy in, that's how I have to show up. And so when I meet with these individuals, I'm not, I got to, be all stuffy and be all super, super professional. I mean, I'm a professional person, yes, but I'm also relaxed and I'm playful and I have fun. And they pick up on the energy of that. And I want them to understand that that's the energy of the network, both fun and professional. And so that's, how do you show up with your clients? How do you provide an invitation to learn more about you? Look at that. Look at what you're doing. Here's a very cool thing that when I was speaking with someone earlier and it kind of came out. Here's a question I want you to think about. What lie about you is keeping your clients from you? What lie about you is keeping your clients from you? So that question is something when you're not showing up as who you are, or when you're trying to be someone else, you're trying to be something else. When you say you can provide this, or you do this, or this is the price point, or this, when you are coming out with things that you're not clear about, that's a question that I'm going to really invite you to look at and see if there's something that pops in your awareness about a lie that you're keeping your clients from you. If you're showing up and you're trying to be something that you're not, the clients aren't going to be able to find you. And that might be an answer, or it might be something to really give you an awareness about what might be going on for you. Here's kind of the opposite of that. Are you being too modest? Are you being too modest with what you have the capacity to do and be an offer? No one wants to go to a service provider or someone who creates something that does not believe in what they do. Now, you don't have to imagine the extreme of being arrogant, which is where most people think, oh, I don't want to be too boastful. No, you need to own your brilliance and you need to bring that forward, right? You don't want a sign that says we're pretty good at what we do. Bring your car here. No, you want somebody to say, we're really good at what we do. Yesterday, I went and got my snow tires on. And when I was leaving, the owner said, if you're looking, we also do car repairs and so on and so forth. And the question that just jumped out of me, which made me laugh, I said, are you any good at what you do? I just asked him straight up. I want to get the energy of, is he telling me the truth? He said, well, I've been doing this for 15 years. And yes, we're always busy and we pride ourselves on what we do. He owned it. Own your brilliance. Stop being modest. Tell people, I'm really good at what I do. I love what I do. And then be it. Show up. Stop playing the games. Oh my gosh, we're just about through the show and I still have more to share with you. We are up for our last break of the show, my friends. Stick around. You want to hear the rest of what I got to say for sure, for sure, for sure. And before you leave, make sure you write down my email, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. I would love to hear what you're thinking and what questions you think are holding you back that you're not asking, or what questions you might have that you would like to ask me to support you to grow your business. You're listening to Inspired Choices on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with Coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Oh, my friends, thank you for being here. Yes, it's Christine McIver on the Inspired Choices Show here on the Inspired Choices Network. And if you've just joined, you've got to go back and listen to the whole show because it is jam-packed with areas for you to look at in order for you to have the clients choose you over the competition. Competition's not real, but unless you believe that, you're going to keep getting stuck in the I don't have enough syndrome. Okay. So before we finish out tonight's show, and we only have a few minutes left, I got a couple more things I really want to send home to you. So one of the other things that is so important is, I wonder if you are refusing receiving. Now, it's very hard for people to understand that on a deep level. Most of us are like, yeah, I want more. I'll receive more. Yeah, bull. Most of us are really, really bad at receiving. We don't receive compliments well. We don't receive being showcased. We don't even show up in order to be able to receive people choosing us. We don't show up and tell people about our brilliance, about our capacities, because we're very afraid of people's judgments. Well, unless you're willing to be judged, you are refusing receiving. Okay. And that means receiving on every level. How many of you out there do believe that you haven't yet earned to receive what it is you desire? How many of you believe you haven't earned it yet? And that earned is a judgment. That earned is a belief system that it has to look like this, or this. You're the biggest critic you've ever had, and you always will be the biggest critic. Get over it, okay? You are born to have a joyful life. You are ready when you really dive deep into what you're good at, and you keep honing that, and you keep working on yourself, and you continue to show up in the world. You will receive more, and you will let that bullshit go that you haven't earned it yet. That is not real. That is a judgment, and it's a lie. You don't have to earn something. Show up in your brilliance and receive. Put your focus on receiving, even receiving yourself joyful and happy, and building a business that brings you pleasure. Okay. Here again, we only got a couple minutes left. Here's another thing that I really want you to pay attention to. Okay. I want you to just take notes and about yourself for the next 3 weeks. Write down notes about yourself, how you are showing up. So are you angry? Do you have anger around your business? Do you have frustration around your business? Do you have jealousy about other people's business and you're bringing it back home, right? You're bringing that jealousy back home. Do you reject other people's success? Are you angry that somebody else is succeeding and you're not? What is that energy going to produce? Any of that energy, the anger, the jealousy, right? You're not, first of all, to be jealous and to be angry and to be resentful of other people's success, that is not a pure energy. You know, when you are joyful, you are more pure with your pure divine energy than you've ever been. When you are in those states, you're not being the true you. So you know right away, that goes back to the very first thing I was talking about, is showing up and being you. When you're not celebrating other people's success, what you are doing energetically is you're putting up a wall. You're putting up a wall saying, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to know anything about that. And you're putting up a wall to receiving for yourself as well. Celebrate other people's success. My friends, there's 8 billion people on the planet. There's more money than you could possibly imagine in the world. Lack is a lie. Please go back and listen to some of my shows. Check out these shows. That is going to give you more and more insight about what the truth is about business and what you're actually capable of having, being, and receiving. My friends, you are amazing, and the capacities that you have and the what you can deliver to clients is fantastic, but you don't even know it yet. You won't even acknowledge it. If someone asks me about what I do, I'm not blowing smoke. I say to them, nobody can step up and deliver what we deliver here at the Inspired Choices Network. I will go toe to toe with anyone because I know what we do is outstanding, and we deliver to our customers, and we fit the needs of the market today. And I am constantly looking at what else do we need to be doing? What else? I don't stay stagnant. I keep training and keep showing up again and again and again. You need to do that as well, but you also need to own your brilliance and keep being in that energy of joy and celebration. Remember, there's no competition. You, my friend, the only competition you can ever have is yourself. Oh my gosh, this show went so fast. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, my friends, no matter what, you can always make another choice. Bye for now.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.